so let's go over a few of these. Just going to go down the left-hand side on a few of them. And again, the graphs, for the most part, should be going towards one another. Unfortunately, the graphs are like right below the inequalities, so just to make it easier to follow, I'm just going to copy down the two inequalities right below the graph. Right. And of course, show the work, and even though at the beginning it's going to be pretty straightforward because they're only one step. Okay. But still write down at every step just to make sure. There we go. Okay. So this is kind of good because we're getting some review in before our test this week. So go ahead and graph both. Remember, is this open or closed right here? Right? Yeah, that should be open and going to the left. This is closed, going to the right. So just go ahead and graph them both on here. We got -10, open and going to the left. And we have -9, closed, going to the right. Okay. Not too bad, right? So write that down if you haven't already. So these are adding, subtracting. So of course it's subtracting, we add to both sides. If it's adding, subtract to both sides, do the opposite. Right? Go over to 3 and we have multiplying, dividing. So again, I'm going to recopy each of them so we have room to show the work. Okay. So we got -5 times variable, so I'm going to undo that by dividing by -5. Okay. Same sign. This one we have k divided by a number, so I'm going to do the opposite of that and multiply it, the inverse and multiply. So multiply by 2, make sure the 2 is on the top. Remember, if it's multiplication to start off with, you undo it by dividing. If it's division to start off with, you undo that by multiplying. Okay. Now on this one, you'll notice that we did divide by the negative. So go ahead and switch the sign. That's still going to be there. Oops. 10. About -2. There we go. And on this side, we have the 2's canceling out, one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay. Should I switch the sign on the right-hand side? Because this is a negative here. Should that be switched? No. It's only when you multiply both sides by a negative. So I multiplied both sides by +2. Right? So it stays the same direction. Alright, so we have an open and going to the right. This one's open going to the left. So graph those up here. Open and going to the right. Open, going to the left. There we go. Alright, so that's a little review of the adding, subtracting, and multiplying, dividing, one of each. Those 4. If we scroll down a little more, or actually go to the back, yeah, go ahead and hit the back, and then we'll have some 2 steps. 2-steppers. Okay. So I'll just do maybe 2 more of these, and then let you guys get to work. Go ahead and recopy number 9 right below. There we go. Alright, so start off with the side of the variable and see if there's anything being added, subtracted. On both of these, we have a +7 here on the left, and this is a +5, so start there. And if you think you got the hang of it, just go ahead in front of me and finish them off and go and graph them and see. You'll probably see you got the hang of it. There we go. And we got b greater than or equal to 2. So we got the right-hand side already finished since there's no coefficient on the b here. The left-hand side, one more step, divide by negative. There we go. So b is less than or equal to, right? Divided by a negative. So we're going to have, for the left-hand side, closed circle going to the left, and the right-hand side, closed circle going to the right. And as I mentioned, most of these, if not all of them, they should be going away from one another. So basically, it's saying that there are a lot of answers. Any number that's less than -1 and any number greater than 2, they all work. The only numbers that are not answers here is everything between -1 and 2. And that's what this graph means. Anywhere this arrow is, it means that's an answer. And the arrow means it keeps going in that direction forever. So the only thing that's not an answer is these few numbers and fractions right here in between. Alright. So if I look down here, anything else going down the left-hand column you want me to go over? Anything? Or do you think you guys are ready? Ready? Yep. 16. Only thing on the left column, though. Stick on the left column. 15. Okay. A little bit of fraction work. Okay. Just copy that down. Okay. 4. Alright, so just like we did above, start with adding and subtracting. We have a -1/2. So to undo a -1/2, add 1/2, right? And do that to both sides. On the right-hand side, we have a plus 8/3, so I'm going to subtract 8/3. These both equal 0, and we'll have, let's see here, x less than, greater than. Let's see here. We have -5 plus 1, -4. And that's all over divided by 2. And -4 divided by 2 is -2. Yeah. And 4 minus 8 is -4. And that's over 3. Now, in order to graph -4/3, you probably want to make that a mixed number. So 3 goes into 4 one time with a remainder of 1. So that's -1 1/3. That way we can go up to the number line and graph it a little bit easier. So greater than, that's going to be open and to the right. And then less than, that's going to be open to the left. So we just go up here. -2, open and to the left. And we have to estimate -1 1/3. So here's -1 1/3. Probably be right around there. Right. There you go. Very doable. So again, please do not get to a problem with a fraction and say, oh, it's a fraction. I can't do that. I can't do -5 minus, or -5 plus 1. You can, it's -4. You can do -4 divided by 2, it's -2. So please don't tell yourself that somehow these are more difficult. Okay, definitely doable for everybody. All right, and then we get here, we have variables on both sides. Okay. Again, watch out if you happen to divide by a negative and you need to flip the sign. I'll just do the left-hand side here, and that's it. Okay. So remember, start on the side with the variable on the right-hand side variable, and if it's a positive, just do a minus both sides. There's several ways of doing it, but this is it's good to get that variable to the left side. And then stay on that side and do the opposite of the number. There you go. We have 2 minus 5, -3. 5 minus 5 is 0. Bring down the less than. 5x minus 5x is 0, and 5 minus 5 is 0. So we write 0. Since the whole side equals 0, just write 1, 0. All right. So this is asking 3 times what number is 0? You should get 0 when you divide both sides by -3. 0 divided by -3 is 0. There you go. But what we got to do, switch the sign. We divide it by a negative. There you go. So there's the first part. And I'll be open to the right. I'll let you do the other part there. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. Okay, got a good start on it. Show all the work. Notice how I'm rewriting all the problem right below the graph. So I expect you to do that too. Don't just go up here and you're writing all over the number line and all that. That's no good. Rewrite the problem below the number line and then do the graph. Okay. So it looks decent. We can read it clearly. Okay. All right. So I'll leave you to that, and we'll be walking around to help you. Go to work.